Hello there everyone, and welcome back to another video here on Theme Park Jack. You know, we're really doing well with Festive Park Jack now. There's been a new video every day, or the odd day I've missed, I have done two the next day, so I've made up for it completely. There has been the equivalent of a new video every day so far, and today we're going to be talking about Aqualantis, which is a brand new themed area, and the new roller coaster Abyssus, coming to Energylandia in Poland next year. Now, Energylandia is already one of the best theme parks in the world. I mean, they only opened in something like 2014, and every year they've been adding loads of new rides. I mean, I think they've got something like 15 or 16 roller coasters now, and there are some really big rides mixed in with that, including an RMC and an Intermin hypercoaster as well. And they just keep building new rides, and it's really good to see. And yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the next new ride, which is coming next year, which is Abyssus. It's a Vekoma launch roller coaster, and there will also be a Zamperla disco and a boat ride going along in the themed area with this. And then separate in the rest of the park, there's going to be a new mine train coming as well. So yeah, there is a lot coming next year. And also too, we need to remember as well is how like they're really stepping up the theming here. I mean, as you can see with this, which is what I want to talk about first before we get into the coaster, is about how much the theming has progressed at this park. I mean, a few years ago, I mean, alright, yeah, the theming's always been pretty decent, but this looks so much better now than what they started out as does the new area with Zadra that just opened earlier this year, and their new RMC, Zadra, which is their new RMC Hyper Hybrid coaster, and the themed area around that is really good. And I like the fact about how it's not just a new roller coaster coming, that along with that as well, they are also adding the Zamperla disco and the boat ride. So then you do have a new ride for the thrill seekers, a new ride for the families, and a new tamer ride as well. And that is something that's really good. I mean, I would say that there are probably more kids coasters there than there are thrill coasters, and that isn't a bad thing, you know, having a good variety of different rides for people to go on. And yeah, so it definitely is a kind of really broad, the ride range that they've got here. And yeah, so today, now we're just going to be going through the layout of Abyssus, and I'm going to give you my opinion on it and give you some stats. Okay then, so for some stats, it will be 4,317 feet long. Now that is a lot longer than your average launch coaster, and that'll be really good. You know, it's a nice long ride, it's got the two launches on it, and I do think that that will make it very enjoyable. You know, if you are queuing up for a while, that you know, you do get a good long ride out of it. And yeah, it will be a very themed experience. It will be 120 feet tall. I think it's absolutely fine for a roller coaster like this. They're not aiming for it to be that tall. However, that top part and the vertical loop will still feel quite high. However, you know, if they did make it a lot taller, then it'd kind of defeat the point of Hyperion. But it does still set it aside from the formula of the other launch coaster, which is more junior. So it does kind of put it in a league of its own still. It will have 4 inversions, the ride will, and as well it will also cost 11 million euros, which obviously Icon cost just over 16 million pounds. And I mean, to convert that over to euros, that'd be even more than 16 million in euros, wouldn't it? So I mean, if you think about it, really, you know, Energylandia got a really good deal with this ride, and I think that they have done very well. Vekoma are really on the up, and they're providing parks with a cheaper alternative. Okay, so now we're just going to run through the ride layouts. This is a double launch coaster. The first launch track just out of the station is kind of a nice slow launch, and that does go into some bank turns and some floater airtime hills as well, just to kind of build up towards the main part of the ride. You know, just some smaller turns, but obviously this will be accompanied with lots of theming, and the big lake around it, you know, some nice, you see there, you know, dipping and diving, and some small sweeping tunnels. Then we go into the main launch of the ride, which will really accelerate you into that main top part, and you will get some really good airtime at the top of this. Before, I mean, just look at that drop there. The airtime that you'll get down that is absolutely brilliant. Then you do go into a vertical loop, and I do like on this ride how they've accompanied a lot of kind of old school Vekoma elements into a modern roller coaster, and it will mean that this will be really intense. So yeah, then we do take on some banking turns after that Batwing element there, and then we do have some more airtime hills, and then another kind of corkscrew inversion, which again just kind of makes it kind of a lot similar to those like Intamin Blitz roller coasters and Mack Mega coasters as well. It's just, you know, how they're very similar, the kind of the layouts of these, and it does mean that smaller parks can get a cheaper ride by going with Vekoma than what they would have to pay if they did go with Mack or Intamin. And not that the quality will be any less as good, I won't say, and as well, not that Energylandia don't have the money, but obviously they are just going with Vekoma because they are a bit cheaper, and as well they do have a good relationship with Vekoma because a lot of their roller coasters are Vekoma rides now, and I don't have a problem with that. Vekoma are really on the up, and them new trains that they've got, a new track with them new kind of much more free restraints that they've got on it, where they're just kind of more of an elastic thing that goes over you rather than a proper kind of rubber shoulder harness. So I do think that that is much better, and I do think that this ride will go down really well at the park, and it is a vast improvement on kind of the old Vekoma coasters. So like their old looping coasters where they'd really batter you around. I mean, like Express Platform 13 at Wallaby, I mean, it's alright, yeah, but it's just really past its best now, and it just doesn't ride great. Whereas this, I really do think it will, and I think it will be very similar to Intamin and Mack coasters, other than the fact that this will have a lot more bold elements to it, like the loop and the Batwing, just showing how, you know, that they're building in a lot of their old school elements into a modern coaster. And I think that's really good, and let's just say watch this space about the different theme park plans I've got coming up next year, because this could very well be on the itinerary. Thank you very much for watching today. I am really looking forward to Aqualantis coming next year, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Goodbye.